All right, on to topic 3. I am talking about Bill and Ted 3, my full review and all that jazz. So if you haven't seen Bill and Ted 3 yet and you don't want to get spoiled, this is your exit point. Thanks for hopping on Enigma Airlines. We hope to see you guys next time.
John, you should start listening because we're talking about Bill and Ted.
There you go. Stop, put the beer down, settle in the recliner.
Well, they're outside.
Go inside, settle in the recliner.
You can drink and listen at the same time.
Can you?
I mean, in theory.
Scientific fact, not scientific fiction or whatever it is. But yes, I'm going to be talking about Bill and Ted 3. No spoilers. Okay.
Oh, well.
Then how about this? I'm going to give my general knee-jerk reaction, flat-out review. Then I'm going to say, spoilers, full review. Get it the fuck out. That's your time to leave.
And
so, that's your warning. You hear anything else after that, that's on you. All right? So, grand blank review of this movie. As Artemis snores in the background. Is fine. F-I-N-E. It was fine.
it was fine.
It was fine. Now, I'm going to go into full spoiler review mode. So please leave the podcast live chat on twitch.tv/enigma911 now. Or if you're watching on youtube.com and you're on this part, first off, why'd you pick this part? It clearly says what in the title what this is. If you're watching the full thing, leave now! Worth $15 to see in theater. First off, don't go to the theater. Second...
First off, are theaters even open?
Some are. I don't know
Oh,
what they're.
well, first off, don't do that.
Don't go in the theater. Second, Amazon Prime, you could rent it for $15 or you can own it for $25. I'd say a rent for $15 is worth it. Owning for $25, I'm a little questionable, but I'm fine with it because I love those characters and the franchise, so I'm happy giving them my money. For a fine movie, if you just want to see it, yeah, I think $15 is worth it.
To rent it. But not $15 per person to go see it in a theater.
No.
Also, don't go to a theater.
Amazon Prime, $15, rent, invite as many people over you want to watch it in a safe 6-foot distance, mask up, whatever the fuck. Then do it. Or wait. You're not going to die if you don't see this movie right away. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye! Okay, full spoiler review now.
I want to ride in the phone booth.
Hell yeah. Alright, so, little backstory here. I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. First movie. Love it. It might be my favorite movie if Tommy Boy is not my favorite movie of all time. Why? I can't give you a good reason. Is this a groundbreaking movie franchise? No. Is it the best movie you're going to watch ever? No. Is it phenomenal acting? No. No. Any of those questions? No. Is it a good time? Yes. Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it dumb fun? Yes.
I liked it better than Tommy Boy.
Wow. Really? Okay.
I did.
And you like Tommy Boy. All right. That's a win. That's a win-win. All right. So, not anything that is breaking. You realize it's not PC. Spoiler. Question mark? Oh, I don't have a spoiler thing on there. No, if anybody pops in, that's on them. I put it on social media as they were talking about this. So, yeah, movie. One of my favorite. Not the best thing ever. I understand that. Bogus Journey. Second movie. Originally, did not like it when I first watched it. I was like, I don't get it. I don't know why we're doing this. Alrighty. Rewatching it, it's fine. It's good. There's some laughs that I missed out on the first time. You know, some characters I got more attached with. I understood the story more. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention the first time. Whatever. It's fine. It wasn't the first one, but I was like, you know what? All right, that's good. The third one. I don't know if it's just me and I hyped this up for myself too much. I was too invested going in. I just built it up. Watching this movie, initially, my initial reaction when credits started rolling was like, that was it? That was it. I felt unsatisfied, to put it in a way. I was just like, wow, okay, all right. Now, like I said, I'm talking initial reactions. I just watched it the Sunday after release. Questionable. Story was good. Characters were good. Callbacks were great. Those were all good. I just felt like a lot of things were missing. Now, after thinking about it a couple days, letting it kind of mull over, I landed on the fine to good spectrum. Once again, story's great. Makes total sense. The daughters are actually the saviors. It was a nice little twist of Ted and Bill. I don't think her name's Bill, but their kids are the ones that made the ultimate song to save the world. You get Bill and Ted, their camaraderie, them being grown up, going through these journeys, and you get to see different iterations of them as they go into the future and see the hilarity of them panicking that they don't have this song. And they're trying everything. They're trying deep throat singing. They're trying synth fucking instruments. They're trying all these random things to make this one song. And it's so just out there. The callbacks to different characters. We have a Rufus callback because unfortunately George Carlin passed away. We have his daughter in this movie. She's the big like helping out factor for Bill and Ted and the daughters eventually. We have a callback to the first movie, how obviously the time booth's back into it, but also we have the daughters going on their own time travel journey to get historical figures to make this band to help their parents. You get callbacks with the princesses. There's this big whole storyline with Bill and Ted, and they're getting divorced or trying to save their marriage. They're in marriage counseling and stuff like that. There's a callback to Missy still being Missy. First movie, she's with Bill's dad. Second movie, she's with Ted's dad. Third movie, she's with Deacon. She's with the little brother for Ted. So that was something like, it's just touched on. It's just like, ooh, a little scoot in there. And I was like, oh shit. Like that was a nice little reference. You got Ted's dad in there, old as shit, still kicking. But how are the adults portrayed? Still, or regular Joes? So this is one thing I didn't like about the movie, or maybe why it was unsatisfying, that first initial reaction. Keanu and Alex, Bill and Ted, or Ted and Bill, respectively, they did well reprising their roles. They were still Bill and Ted. However, they were not the Bill and Ted from Excellent Adventure or from even Bogus Journey. Their characters changed because they're older, which after thinking about it a couple days, it makes sense. They're older individuals. They've been doing this for a while. They're going to be a little bit more mature. Now, I'm not saying they're all like completely mature and like all smart and everything. Now they're still idiots. But I think the big thing I told you was the energy factor. They didn't have that over the top energy or like spunk that the original did. It was very low tone voices. Everything wasn't like, they just didn't have that energy with them. And I don't know if they were trying to do that because they're older. They weren't like in their 80s until later. But I don't know what it was. I just felt that was missing. Now, on the flip side of the coin, the daughters were them. Like, which makes sense. Because they're raised by them. Obviously, they're going to be really into music, and they're going to be using all this lingo and dressing certain ways. And they were them. I thought the daughters were way more them than they were themselves. And honestly, I didn't like it. I was like, it just felt like two random people just cosplaying them. Like, oh, yo, we're Bill and Ted, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do all the things together and we're best friends. It's just like, this doesn't, it just didn't connect. Mm-hmm. Like, logically, it makes sense. This is your kids. You're going to reflect in ways on your kids and they're going to act like you, but like, it just didn't, it wasn't believable, or I don't know. It just didn't connect to me. So whenever they came on screen, and it's nothing against those actresses or anything or their performance, they did, technically they crushed it because they were them.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't care. So that was a disconnect. Like I said, the story was good. How they wrapped it all up with them panicking, they can't make the song, find the song. And then the daughter's actually doing it, and them all playing together at the end. It was just some things just didn't connect with me or fully, I don't know, achieve, I guess, what they were setting out to do. Mm-hmm. Another thing I did appreciate, the storyline with them going to the future. So the main concept was they were going to go to their future selves to ask about the song and just borrow it and bring it back. So they're going I think it was 5 years, maybe it was 10, I don't know, but they're taking progressive time jumps to see if they made it. So the first skip, they're unfortunately alcoholics, or Ted is at least, and they haven't made the song and they're just arguing. They skip ahead again, and they're, for some reason, have British accents, and they're in this big-ass mansion, so you're like, oh shit, they made it, they made the song. Turns out they were just bumming around and broke into Dave Grohl's house from Foo Fighters, which he made a cameo. I was like, oh shit! And then they had to escape that. Then they bump again, and they're in jail because they broke into the house, and they're these big swole ass dudes. And then they skip again, and they're old, and they're in a retirement home, and they're just laying in their beds. And that was the most them they were. The rest of the time, they were just grumpy. Like in the time jumps, they're just like, oh, Dad, I haven't seen you in forever, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay. So yeah, that story was good, and it was funny. The daughters went through a hellhole. It was almost like they kind of combined the movies, too. Like I mentioned, they paid homage to the first movie where the girls were doing their own time travel. They got Mozart, they got Louis Armstrong, they got Jimi Hendrix, they got Kid Cudi, which is a very random one.
I don't understand that one.
That was a real random one. They also got some Asian violinist, I think it was, from BC or something like that, way ago. And then while they're doing that, similar to Bogus Journey, how the Bill and Ted robots are trying to hunt and kill Bill and Ted, there's a robot from Rufus's wife sent to kill Bill and Ted because she's like, oh, maybe if we just get rid of them, this thing won't happen. He ends up killing the daughters and all the historical figures, and they go to hell.
Oh,
and
geez.
The robot was a dumb character. I'm just going to say this right out. Because after he fucked up, he went to Bill and Ted and was apologizing. But he was acting like not a baby, but like a toddler. Like, my name is this. Da 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 da. And he's lost and just repeating things they would say to kind of fit in. He's that needy friend who's oh yeah, I like that too. Or I was just this is stupid. Just be a killer robot or don't be a killer robot. And then Bill and Ted go to hell as well, and apparently they had some big breakup with the devil in the band, so they had to reunite with him and rekindle that relationship. That was dumb. That whole waste of 20 minutes of just going there to talk about that is whatever. So yeah, I mean, it was fine overall. Like I said, it's got a nice story, nice little bow on the end of it, please. But yeah, it just wasn't the magic that I think the first one was. It didn't have that satisfying feeling when you're done watching it. It was just okay, I don't feel the need to watch it again. Bogus Journey is I think that too. Like, I'd watch it. I think I'm more willing to rewatch Bogus Journey than I am this one. Mm-hmm. Maybe just because this one's more fresh and it happened more recently.
Yeah.
But, like, I wouldn't die if I never saw Bogus Journey again. But I would love to always watch Excellent Adventure again.
Right. I feel like they could have just left it. Well, I've not seen the second or the third one, but I feel like they could have just left it at the first one, and that would have been good. Like, it would have been good. Just
one-off random movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, 2's got its good things too. But yeah, it's just not.
But money.
But money, yeah. And I mean, obviously, it must have blown up because I mean, the first one was made in '89.
Yeah.
Second one was '91. Mm-hmm. So obviously it blew up, and then obviously either that reflects on how 2 performed, or maybe they just didn't have anything at the time. Because I've heard rumors about 3 for the past couple of years, but maybe that was the start of their production talks of like this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And then when it finally was a thing, it was like whatever. One satisfying thing, or another note about the movie, the most Bill and Ted feel themselves is when they play air guitar together. There was a couple moments where they did that, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what we needed, and there just wasn't enough of that. Just more flat old man, I'm Ted, and Bill, we gotta do this, and Ted, that was just low energy. Not low care. They definitely cared and performed well. It was just different. So yeah, there's Bill and Ted Face the Music review. Full spoilers. So yeah, I'm not saying don't watch it. If you're like, on the fence about it, maybe wait. But I'd still say watch it. Obviously, form your own opinion. Maybe, like I said, maybe I just am judging it too hard because I overhyped myself. Because I've seen other people talk about it and I'm like, oh, this was a great movie. I loved it. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't know what you're, I don't know. I don't get all your excitement for it, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, hopefully no Bill and Ted 4. Keep it as where it is.
Yeah.
Tough to go from John Wick back to Ted. Yeah, I mean, almost 20 years. From 91 to that, so, I mean, he's been out of the character for a while, but, yeah. It is what it is. Thanks for listening to me talk about a movie that shouldn't be cared about so much, but it is. This has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 71. I am Bret, a.k.a. Enigma911, and today I was joined by Kate, a.k.a. Lady in Wonderland. Kate, thank you for popping on the podcast and returning with me. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We're back. We're going to be back over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every other Saturday, recording this podcast live at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join in the chat like a lot of people did today. You join in the chat, join the conversation, and talk with us about the crazy topics we're talking about. We'd love to have you, but if you can't catch it live, that is A-OK. It's put up the following week over on YouTube.com and SoundCloud as one big video and MP3 for your amusement, so you can catch it over there. And then, remember, if you guys want to rep the brand, support us, you can go over to the merch store and get all of your t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Support us. It's only going to be going for a little bit more time, so take advantage of that while you can. Greatly appreciated. If you are over on Twitch, just a friendly reminder, it's September. You get 30% off, I believe, certain Twitch subs, and I believe those extended ones are cheap too. I think you can get a tier 1 for like 6 months for like real cheap. So,
like real cheap, y'all.
Real cheap, y'all. So, drop your boy a sub so we can get more emotes. But if you want a free sub, do that over on YouTube.com because we need a bunch before we get our custom URL and don't have to do all those random digits and numbers and things and letters and I don't know. But yeah, any way you guys can support would be greatly appreciated. If you ever have a suggestion for a topic or even a guest, put it in the comments down below and we'll try our best to get that person on or definitely talk about your topic as well. We're always open to suggestions. It's good. It's good being back. Once we got the ball rolling, I was like, all right. But that intro at the beginning, sketch. We'll get back there. We'll get back there. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.